On today's episode of the Cryptoverse, DTube, you know, that blockchain-based replacement for YouTube, has taken another leap forward by releasing version 0.4, and Ledger, the Paris-based company that manufactures the cryptocurrency hardware wallets, they're partnering with Intel to effectively make hardware wallets a standard feature of every device by building them into Intel processors. Big news. So all of that and a mini market roundup and my daily chart reading on today's episode of the Cryptoverse. So stay tuned for that. Hi there guys, welcome to the latest episode of the Cryptoverse, your regular dose of news and commentary on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. I am your host, Chris Coney, the founder of Cryptoversity, which is the online school where you can learn about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Find out more about that at cryptoversity.com. So let's go story number one, DTube. It continues to evolve rapidly and has been upgraded to 0.4 version. Big improvements across the board yet again. Now, you know, there are a few projects that are aiming to replace YouTube with like a decentralized alternative, but DTube so far is the model that I am in most support of. So let's hop over to where I found out about this, which is their Steemit article. I'll leave you to read all the details of all the many new features, right? But I'll say that they have moved to a new domain name, which is just D, the letter D, .tube. That's it, which I think is brilliant from a branding point of view. And they actually say that's in the article. The fellow, who I think is a Frenchman as well, talking about Ledger based in Paris, he said he understands that the domain name being simple like that, d.tube, is a great branding point, and I absolutely agree. Shorter the better. It's a single letter domain name, d.tube. Now they've also added web torrents as a backup to IPFS, which means any user can now help to seed new videos by downloading a special version of the web torrents client, which is linked to just here in the article. I think I've highlighted it in orange. There it is. Now this will allow you to select specific content creators and allow you to host their videos or help to host their videos. So like if you wanted to seed my videos, for example, on DTube, you would just download web torrents or this special version of it, go to the settings, and then in the section that says authors you will always seed, you would enter my Steam username, which is Marketing Monk. And that's it, right? So it is brilliant. And the more people that do that, the more that the bandwidth will be shared out amongst many, many different hosts, the faster the videos will load and the less burden there is on any individual. So this is absolutely brilliant. Now the bottom line is the video should start now streaming a lot smoother, right? Because as the number of people hosting the videos increases, then the smoothness of the videos will increase massively. So you don't have to seed the videos. That increase in performance will happen anyway because some people will. I've already started seeding several other people's videos just to help out with the whole ecosystem. So that's that. Brilliant stuff. Story number two then. This is the main story I want to talk about today. Ledger, right? The Paris-based manufacturer of Ledger hardware wallets have partnered with tech giant Intel. So I heard about this from bitcoin.com. So here's the article. It's from today. It wasn't published that long ago, actually. I think I saw this early this morning or yesterday, and I put it in my news pool, like stories that I didn't get around to speaking about yesterday, but it was the first thing I looked at today because I thought I'm going to have to talk about this. So Intel is the Intel, you know, the Intel we all know, the company that dominates the computer processor market and the one that has done for decades, quite frankly. So this story is that Intel has introduced a new piece of technology. This isn't actually the news. They've done this before. The news story is about the partnership. But let's just set the scene a bit here. So Intel are developing this new piece of technology. They're starting to build it into their computer processors, and they call it SGX, which stands for Software Guard Extensions. And here's the page on the Intel website all about this XGX technology. So if you're interested in digging into this, I'll put the link to Intel's website, their developer zone, in the video description, so you can watch their explainer video and understand what this is all about. But for the rest of you, I'll do my best to put this into context and see how this is applicable. So basically, software is a lot easier to hack than hardware because software is malleable, right? It's moldable. That's what makes it so cool, right? So malleable meaning it can change its form after it has been installed, right? Which isn't the case with hardware. You have to physically change the circuits yourself with a soldering iron and whatever else, right? So that's why hardware wallets in particular are the best way to secure your cryptocurrency. It's very difficult. There is no computer virus that could manipulate the physical hardware of your Ledger hardware wallet, right? Which is why they're so secure. Whereas with a software wallet, potentially that software could be molded by a virus and then your money stolen. However, if we are going to move into a world of digital assets, this level of security almost needs to be automatic, so that the average user doesn't have to think about it. That's really where we need to get to, right? The less education the average user needs, the better. If it just becomes effortless, right? Kind of like an automatic gearbox in a car. So this is what I believe Intel are shooting for by building these security features like SGX into the very processor hardware itself, right? You can loosely think of this as a unique hardware wallet being built into every computer processor. So hardware security for digital assets then becomes just a standard feature of every device rather than an optional extra like it is now, right? We have to go out and buy a hardware wallet. So just I'll use the car analogy again. You see in the car brochures, it says, this comes as standard, right? Power steering used to be something you had to pay for, or power windows. And that's now all standard stuff, right? You'd laugh if a car manufacturer said this is extra. So this is where we need to get to. It needs to become second nature. Of course, the computer has a hardware wallet built into it. So back to the partnership itself then. Ledger have developed this unique operating system for their hardware wallets. They call it BOLOS, B-O-L-O-S, which stands for Blockchain Open Ledger Operating System. And this is what Intel are interested in. So they want to develop a way to run this BOLOS operating system on their XGX processor technology, the hardware. And this will help them move towards a situation where hardware security for private keys becomes a standard feature on every device that has an Intel processor with this particular capability. Now, my only concern when I read news like this is that it's the kind of momentum that leads companies like Ledger being bought out by companies like Intel, right? So I would not be surprised if a few years down the line, we read another news story that Ledger has been bought out by Intel for X amount of millions of dollars, right? And after that, Intel would just likely swallow Ledger whole and then rebrand everything as Intel hardware wallets. And it's just the way it goes, right? That is actually one of the things that bothers me about how modern business is done, right? For many people, it's all about the exit, they call it. It's all about the exit, which means selling the company you started from scratch for millions of dollars, right? So you'll say, I had a $50 million exit. Yeah, right? So that's the bit I don't particularly like about this overly focused mindset on the exit itself. Because to that I say, but what of the mission, right? Did you start the company just to make money or to make a difference? Right now, I believe what I'm doing with my business is the best way to boost cryptocurrency adoption and carry out my personal mission. And therefore, I see no sense in selling it because then I would kind of lose my purpose, right? And having something meaningful to do with my life is far more important to me than money, right? As long as I have enough money, of course. Once I have enough money, then the money kind of becomes irrelevant. Now, the jury is out on whether Ledger believe they are serving a higher purpose or not, but my point is, I wish more businesses were purpose-driven. That's really the moral of the story for today. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. So in conclusion, before we end the show, let's go over to the market roundup and do a chart reading as well. So for this, we hop over to CoinMarketCap.com. I picked out two pairs, two winners, two losers. Biggest winner in the top 30 is Stratis. Stratis is right down here. 19th place. It has gained 19.18% in the last 24 hours. That is one of the biggest movers in the top 30. It means a Stratis token is selling for about $4.67, and it has a $460 million market cap. Looking at the 7-day trend for the last 5 days, Stratis has been increasing in a little uptrend. The runner-up would be BitConnect. It's here in 8th place by market cap, 1.5 billion market cap. A BitConnect token is now about $210, and it's up today by 6.78%. And now for the losers. We have ARK, which is down 4.5%. That leaves it in 24th place with a $251 million market cap. And if you wanted to buy an ARK token, you'd be paying about $2.56. In the top 30 as well, down there in 27th place with a $200 million market cap, is MonaCoin, which has lost 5.67% of its value in the last 24 hours and is now trading around $3.66. Today, we do have somewhat of a crazy coin. If I go all the way down to the bottom of the top 100 here, down to 89th place, we find Edgeless, which has increased 41% in the last 24 hours. It gives it a market cap of $53 million, a coin price of 64 cents, and $2.2 million of Edgeless has been traded in the last 24 hours, which is pretty decent considering it's a reasonably low capped coin. The other thing I think we should keep a look at is the price of SegWit2x Bitcoins. So now we've got the Bitcoin Gold snapshot in place, and that network is now starting to roll out. We need to look ahead to the end of November where this SegWit2x hard fork is coming up. So futures, the future value of SegWit2x is already being traded. So some exchanges are issuing IOUs, so saying that if you buy a SegWit2x future, we will deliver a SegWit2x coin to you when it is available. So people are speculating on the future value of it. And futures is a pretty standard financial instrument in the regular world of finance. What's staggering about this is that right this second, in fact, let me refresh the page to make double sure that we are looking at the right price. Right this second, as I refresh CoinMarketCap, a SegWit2x Bitcoin future is trading at $996. The reason I think that is significant is because neither Bitcoin Cash nor Bitcoin Gold are trading anywhere near this. To be fair to Bitcoin Cash, soon after the fork, it did get up to like $800, $850, but it soon crashed right down again. Whereas SegWit2x has been trading here for near enough 5 days now, and it started off right down here, it started off around $600, $800, and it's gone up since then. So this is kind of really interesting. So this is a way of seeing what the market thinks to SegWit2x, because people are putting money where their mouth is. If you really believe in SegWit2x, buy some futures, right? Why would you wait until it forks? And if you don't like it, why would you short it? You know what I mean? Push the price down. But in the last 24 hours, a SegWit2x future has gone up 1%. So this is really interesting stuff. I'll put a link to this in the video description so you can keep an eye on this. This is something I'm going to keep a real close eye on. Over to the charts then for the final section of the day. Let me move myself over to the other side here. Bitcoin confirmed support at 54.33 as I was suggesting. Yesterday, after the Bitcoin Gold sell-off, the previous 2 days, so the 24th, we went up again on the following day. So there can't have been that many people that bought Bitcoin Gold in the run-up because the price didn't really fall that bad. The price is now sitting pretty stable around $5,700. So that big boom we had in the price looks to be just general consensus about the value of a Bitcoin and less so about just greed around Bitcoin Gold. So it's early days, right? We're only 2 days after the Bitcoin Gold fork. It's only the second trading day after that. So we'll see how the Bitcoin price pans out. But that support at 54.33 has been confirmed again. So that looks like a pretty good floor to me. Let's have a look at Dash, because I'm talking about Dash being in a channel, a downtrending channel. However, it looks to me to be turning up. There are some early signs that Dash is turning up because it didn't reach the bottom of its channel in the latest cycle. So you see if you're looking at this on YouTube, you'll see my channel. You've got the price hitting the top of the channel, the bottom of the channel, and then the top of the channel, the bottom of the channel there and there. But in the most recent downswing, it didn't actually reach the bottom of the channel, which means there was enough buying pressure to make that dip more shallow. So that's, to me, that's the beginning signs of more buying power coming into Dash. The point it needs to break really is $300 again. But it's in no man's land right now between the two moving averages, and it's below $300. So there's a fair bit of resistance to get through. I'm just looking at the first indications that Dash may be turning around. Two more. Ethereum stuck under $300. Let me pull the chart up here. Ethereum against the US dollar. Ethereum stuck right under that $300 mark, which is also one of its Fibonacci retracement lines. Again, this is looking just like Dash. It's in no man's land between the moving averages. It's stuck under a Fibonacci retracement line and a psychologically significant number of $300, and it's stuck below the 50-day moving average. So for the time being, that's a lot of resistance preventing Ethereum going up in price. IOTA is the last one I want to talk about today. It has broken its short-term downtrend. So if I pop IOTA against the US dollar, you'll see I've got this downtrending white line that goes right back from the 17th of the 8th. And it was hit a few times, few cycles, and then it broke 2 days ago. So on the 24th, IOTA completely had a good day, and it broke around about the 41, 42 cent mark, bounced off of 50 cents, and is now trading above the downtrending line, and it's trading above the 41 cent mark, which is a key Fibonacci level that it also broke. So that may signal a turnaround for IOTA as well. But again, these are only early signals, so just jury's out on that. I'm just looking at the very earliest indications of where the price may be going. Alrighty then, guys. Thanks very much for joining me today. If you like this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new around here, get subscribed. And if you would like access to my very best material, such as my structured online courses that will teach you things like how to make and save money with Bitcoin, check out cryptoversity.com. Alright guys, that's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Cryptoverse. Until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.